Hey guys, welcome to block 21. This week we're doing a crossed ripple stitch and we'll be using a bit of the technique that you learned last week in the crisscross stitch. It'll just be a bit more spread out. So to get started, I chained 29 and then I skipped that 29th stitch and I did single crochets across. So starting in the second stitch from the hook and all the way down, you should have 28 single crochets as your base for this block this week. So you're getting started with me here on row number 2. We're going to chain 3. This is going to count as our first double crochet. And we're going to have a double crochet on either end to help border out this block. So that one counted, so we don't need to worry about that placement anymore. So we're going to go over here. So this stitch will start with a double crochet. Again, we're going to ignore our side ones, so just don't worry about that for now. And this first row is going to be similar to a crisscross, but we are going to have a bit more space in between. So in the crisscross stitch, we did skip 1, double crochet, and then we looped back here and did a double crochet. For today, we are going to skip 2 and insert into the third. So yarn over, double crochet, so you push through, yarn over, pull back to anchor down, yarn over, pull through 2 one time, yarn over, pull through 2 2 times. To account for this extra space, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do another double crochet. We're going to skip the middle, the chain accounts for that, and we're going to double crochet way back here in the first skipped spot. Okay, so we've done this cross stitch, and here you can see where we put that third one. So now we want to start from this point again. So skip 2, double crochet into the third, chain 1, and come all the way back, double crochet. So you're going to do that all the way across. So you will skip over, so here's where that first one landed, so skip 2, double crochet into the third, chain 1, go back, double crochet into the first. All the way across. I will meet you back here on this last one. We should finish with an extra double crochet, and we will turn and knock out the next row together. Once we get to row 3 and 4, we'll actually get into the repetitive nature of the pattern. So I will see you at the end here. Okay, so we are at the end of this row. We're going to do our very last cross. So that was here. We're going to skip over to the third, chain, and go back. And here we are at the very end. We have 2 left, so we're going to do just regular double crochets to border this out. There we go. Awesome. So we should have some cross stitches with 2 double crochets on either side, bringing our total count to 28 stitches, which is the width for our block series. If you're just learning how to do the crossed ripple stitch, then here we are picking up. We're going to be repeating rows 3 and 4. Row 3 is super simple. We are just going to chain 1 and single crochet all the way across. You want to make sure that you do on top of every double crochet and through the chain that's in the middle of your crisscrosses. Okay, so for each cross stitch you should have, oop, I did not need to yarn over there. You should have 3. So 1, 2, 3. again, 1, there's that chain, you can see it in the top there. I want to make sure I go through the stitch here. There we go, 2, 3. Okay, so again, simply just single crochet all the way across. You should have 28 stitches by the time you reach the end of this row. So I will meet you here at the end of row 3. Okay, so I finished row 3. We had 28 single crochets across. And on to row 4. This is where we're really going to be the repeater portion of our pattern. This is what you'll do to actually get the main texture here. So chain 3 to count as your first double crochet in the next is your second little kind of border piece, just so we have our width the way we want it. And very similarly, we're going to do the same setup for the cross stitch that we did below. So yarn over, skip to the third, double crochet, chain 1, and now instead of crossing back to this stitch, you're going to do a front post double crochet around the first double crochet from the row below, if that makes sense. So again, you're locating the very first double crochets that you've done from the cross stitch below. Yarn over. Here's that guy. I can tell because he's slanted behind this one. I'm going to go all the way around the whole post, and that's what is counting as my stitch here. So I yarn over and pull back around to anchor down. Yarn over, pull through 2 1 time, yarn over, pull through 2 2 times. Now it's really important that you have some good loose tension here, or else you're going to be pulling the whole thing down too tight. Okay, so let's try that again. Here's where our first one was. Skip 1 2 and over to the third, double crochet into that space, chain 1, and we're not going back into this chain, we're going down to the first double crochet from the cross stitch below. So yarn over nice and loose here around that post. So this is a front post, double crochet, anchor that down, pull through 2, pull through 2, and now we're starting to get this cool ripple texture that goes all the way down and across. One more with you guys. So here's where the first one was, right? So skip 1 2 3, yarn over, double crochet, chain, yarn over, down to the first double crochet below, and front post double crochet. Okay. So once you get to the end and you're ready to alternate your rows with a single crochet in between, just make sure that you're accounting for that big front post double crochet, the chain, and then the first double crochet of each one. Mine keep turning out kind of loose. That's okay. The single crochets are really going to cinch that up. You just want to make sure you do your sets of 3 and 2 double crochets on either side for your border. Again, if you were here just to learn this stitch, you're just alternating rows 3 and what we just did in row 4. So you're reaching down to do that front post double crochet, and then we're going to end up with this really cool ripple texture. So I will see you guys back here after you've alternated 3 and 4 over and over, and we will measure up and see what our finished blocks looked like. I will see you soon. Okie dokie, so here's my finished block. I already have my border with 28 stitches all the way around each side. And as far as the actual sizing of my block to get my square, of course you just, fold corner to corner, make sure that you're able to line up fairly evenly and get another corner on each edge. For mine, that ended up being the original cross stitch here, plus 9 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows that had the front post double crochet. So that would have been row 4. And again, you're just alternating row 3 and 4 to get this really pretty texture. That row 3 is just the single crochets that run all the way across. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. It's very beautiful. It is only a one-sided, so just take note of that if you're using this in some type of other pattern, but this is definitely a really pretty block to look at. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you guys back next week.